emotional needs of boys just because they're protected by the patriarchy? Well, MSNBC seems to think so.
It seems that men are doing just fine. Well, our next guest has a response for that, too.
Coming up, we'll explain why the underachievement of American boys is a ticking time bomb. When I appeared on the MSNBC show, The Cycle, to discuss the plight of boys in school, the hosts were having none of it.
All right, I see some of what you're saying, but I don't think the patriarchy, sadly, is actually under threat.
The MSNBC skeptics are hardly alone in dismissing the plight of boys and young men. Just recently, Vox, this new website started by the former New York Times statistics guru Ezra Klein, it told its readers, well, boys have always done worse than girls in school. There's nothing new to worry about here. Well, it failed to explain why it is that male deficits in education are far more serious today than they were in the past. I mean, as recently as 30 years ago, a mediocre male student could get his high school diploma, find a job, work hard, make it into the middle class. Those days are gone forever. Education beyond high school is the new ticket to the American dream. Today, women earn 62% of associate's degrees, 57% of BAs, 60% of masters, and 52% of doctorates. Well, what's in store for a minimally educated young man? The wages of men with only a high school diploma have declined 47% since 1969. Now, the British, the Canadians, the Australians, they're struggling with a boy gap, and they are trying desperately to address it, because they view the widespread underachievement of males as a threat to their national economy. Why is this happening to boys? What explains the college gap? Well, one of the best sources for insight about students is the University of Michigan Monitoring the Future survey. Since 1975, the Michigan researchers have been studying large national samples of students. Now, they found that in the 1970s and 80s, nearly the same number of top male and female students had very high aspirations. They planned to be pursuing postgraduate degrees in fields like law, medicine, science, college teaching. It was about 14% of boys and girls. Well, by the 2000s, 27% of girls expressed that ambition, compared to only 16% of boys. Now, why isn't there a national effort to address this ambition gap? Congress passed legislation characterizing girls as an underserved population. There were hundreds of millions of dollars made available to improve girls' self-esteem, their math and science achievement. Well, where are the efforts for boys? Now, Arne Duncan, the U.S. Secretary of Education, has yet to comment on male underachievement, but he's not idle on the gender gap front. He made a cameo appearance along with Beyoncé in Sheryl Sandberg's Girl Power Band Bossy video, where he encouraged girls to be ambitious.
We need to tell them it's okay to be ambitious.
The factual feminist is disappointed. MSNBC and the women's groups, they're known to be polemical, but the well-being of boys is too important for television antics and gender war hijinks. As for Secretary Duncan, his apparent indifference to the boy gap is alarming. His department is the federal agency responsible for the educational well-being of the nation's children, girls and boys. Well, what do we need to do to get American boys interested in education? Please leave your thoughts in the comments, subscribe to the video, follow me on Twitter. Thank you for watching The Factual Feminist.